Dr. Fauci. Good morning to you. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
There is going to be a collective sigh of relief about these new mask rules. Hopefully your sigh of relief will be masked if you're indoors. But if you're outdoors, you can take that mask off. Just big picture for a moment. What does this mean in terms of our battle in this pandemic?
Well, it means that we're going in the right direction. I mean, even though, as mentioned correctly, there have been so many cases, we have over 570,000 deaths in the United States. So this is still an issue. We're still getting, tens of thousands of new cases per day. But the thing that's become clear, just from the scientific evidence, that the risk of getting infected if you are vaccinated and outdoors is extremely low. I mean, minusculely low. And that's the reason why the CDC has now come out and made these kinds of recommendations, making it much more flexible for people who are vaccinated to get out and enjoy the outdoors. As you showed on the chart that you just put up on the screen, outdoors, you can do virtually everything except congregate in a massive way, for example, at a concert where there are tens of thousands of people. But anything short of that, if you're vaccinated, you really can be out there just enjoying the environment, which is really a big plus in motivating people to get vaccinated.
Definitely. But let's get to it, because you still have the majority of people are not fully vaccinated in this country. And if you look at that chart, the rules for unvaccinated people are much more limiting. You mostly have to be masked even if outdoors, according to the CDC chart. But you just said, it's minusculely low. According to the CDC, less than 10% of cases of COVID-19 have been occurring outdoors. Couldn't these recommendations have gone farther even?
Savannah, there'll always be that argument that the CDC, being a science-based organization, always wants to wait until the evidence they get is clear. Even though you know that it's still low, there's always that argument that the CDC tends to be a bit conservative. But they do that because they want to make sure they get it completely right and err always on the side of safety. But what I'll guarantee you're going to see, Savannah, as more and more people get vaccinated, which will absolutely result in less and less people getting infected. And the numbers per day, the weekly average of a daily number of cases is going to go down. And when it does, you are definitely going to see the CDC come back and be more flexible. Right now, they're going slowly about it. They're being very prudent about it. But as the case numbers come down, they're going to be pulling back on some of the restrictions, guaranteed.
I get it. It sets up a strange situation, especially when you start talking about kids. I'll tell you a story. I walked to pick up my little girl at the bus stop yesterday after the CDC recommendations came out. I took off my mask. I waited for her. There was no one else around. She got off the bus with her little mask on. She had to wear her mask. I didn't on the walk home. When are kids going to be able to take off those masks and play outside at the playground?
That's going to be the same thing that I mentioned a moment ago. It's going to be a situation. Well, first of all, kids will ultimately wind up getting vaccinated, but you want to have some activity in that direction before they do. High school kids will likely get vaccinated as we get into the fall term, and children of any age will likely be vaccinated by the time we get to the end of the year. But let's not talk about the end of the year. Let's talk about the immediate or intermediate future. When children are out in the community, when you have 30, 40, 50,000 new infections per day, they are unvaccinated now because children can't get vaccinated now. And for that reason, they are more at risk of getting infected because they are out in the community where there is a lot of infection. When the community level starts to go way down, the risks to everybody, including the children, is going to be dramatically diminished.
But isn't it a weird situation? Because I'm not fully vaccinated yet. I can take off my mask and walk home. She can't. Doesn't that just point up that these CDC guidelines, there's some kind of disconnect if that's the situation?
Well, yeah, what you're pointing out, what you're referring to, Savannah, is the top two not fully vaccinated, that people can go out without masks if you walk, run with members of your household, attend a small outdoor gathering, fully vaccinated with friends. Then after that, everything has a mask on it, as you're showing correctly. now on the screen. So what you're asking, if you are on the left-hand part and you see unvaccinated people, walk outdoors with members of your household. And you're asking now, if your child is a member of your household, can you walk outdoors with your child without a mask? According to that chart, the answer is yes.
But the child can't, not to beat it to death.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Real quickly, I want to ask you, popular podcast host Joe Rogan, you may have heard about this, made comments about young people getting vaccinated. It's getting a lot of buzz. He said, if you're like 21 years old and you say to me, should I get vaccinated? I say no. If you're a healthy person and you're exercising all the time and you're young and you're eating well, I don't think you need to worry about this. Saying young, healthy people shouldn't get vaccinated. Just quickly, your response?
Well, that's incorrect, Savannah. And the reason why is that you're talking about yourself in a vacuum then. You're worried about yourself getting infected and likelihood that you're not going to get any symptoms. But you can get infected and will get infected if you put yourself at risk. And even if you don't have any symptoms, you're propagating the outbreak because it is likely that you, even if you have no symptoms, that you may inadvertently and innocently then infect someone else who might infect someone who really could have a problem with a severe outcome. Yeah. So if you want to only worry about yourself and not society, then that's okay. But if you're saying to yourself, even if I get infected, I could do damage to somebody else, even if I have no symptoms at all. And that's the reason why you've got to be careful and get vaccinated.
Yeah. So you say young, healthy people should get vaccinated.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Dr. Fauci, as always, appreciate you getting up early with us. Thank you.
Good to be with you, Savannah. Thank you for having me.
Take care.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.